Hey everybody, what's up? It's Michael Termini at the Game House, and today I am joined by the first take of Five Fire. So coming off your Proving Grounds win, I want to know what you learned from that event and what was your biggest takeaway?
Yeah, so I mean, our Proving Grounds win in the spring was huge. We learned so much as a team, being able to compete against all of the top amateur and academy squads. Of course, whenever you play against a top level academy player, they push you to your limits. You have to learn new things, learn new strategies in order to be able to overcome that. And learning to perform on such a big stage, right? Like PG was, the biggest event I've ever played in. Very nerve-wracking at times, but being able to surround myself with my teammates, with my coaches, and come out on top was an amazing experience for sure.
Do you think events like Proving Grounds are exposing like the average LCS viewer to academy and amateur a bit more?
Oh yeah, I mean, like the level of response I got from winning Proving Grounds was unlike anything I had seen for any tournament, any event, any money match, any in-house whatever before. The amount of people watching it, like going back, it's still kind of surreal to think about, right? I don't remember the exact numbers, but I just remember looking at it being like, holy
It was
crap.
impressive, yeah. I don't
Yeah,
remember
I
the
was like,
number either,
wow,
but
that many people saw. Like, I think there might even have been more people watching it than usually watch Scouting Grounds. So, I mean, we'll see. But it's definitely cool to see, Riot really investing in North American talent.
talking about Scouting Grounds, obviously the event has changed a little bit from the initial plan. It was supposed to be in person, I think all in LA in studio, and now it's moved online, and I think a little bit more scuffed, I think is fair to say. So it's being streamed less, but I want to know your thoughts on the no draft structure specifically and it being online.
Yeah, so for the draft, really, I think it just makes sense. Riot was trying to do something cool, something unique to drag people in, but really, it didn't make sense from a player's perspective, and it didn't make sense from a team perspective, right? So really, it was just harming everyone. So I think they did a good job doing away with it. They tried it out for a few years, tried to see how they can make it work. It didn't work out. That's fine. As long as Riot's trying new ideas, it can't be too mad. And the online, the fact that it's all online, I'll be honest, it sucks, right? We all wanted to be in person, want to be there to be able to be with the teams, with your teammates, in-house, learning and playing together every single day. But I do think Riot has done a pretty good job of having it online. Things have seemed pretty efficient. We've had a couple technical issues, but they handled them pretty quickly. So I think the event, while it's not at its full potential, it'll still be a good time for everyone involved.
Now, obviously, there's been a lot of amazing players that have come out of Scouting Grounds, from people like Spica to even you. Some might even argue. What do you think that this event means to people who it's their first chance to prove themselves on this big stage?
Yeah, I mean, it's a pretty big deal. Every year there's at least one or two players that pretty much come out of nowhere, and teams are like, "Oh, we should have been paying attention to this guy. We need to pay attention to this guy now. Free agency's in a week. We need to talk to this guy." Right? So it's definitely a huge deal to be able to build up your hype and build up your momentum. But at the same time, it's also not the end of the world. Lots of people do like to say, "Oh, Scouting Grounds is like there's nothing there. Like the decisions are all made beforehand." So there are parts of it there where it's like it's not like it's the end of the world if you don't perform at Scouting Grounds, but showing up, it just gives yourself an opportunity to show up, right? Because other than that, like what can you do? Just play solo queue. So it's definitely a pretty big deal there.
And I'm sure it's a great opportunity to network with all the coaches, GMs, staff, all that stuff from all these big teams, right?
Yeah, no, like I said, it sucks that you don't get to see them in person. Some of it's nice. It's not so nerve-wracking having an LCS coach or LCS GM standing behind you watching you play. But even just, being able to chat with them, add them on Discord, add them on Twitter, have deeper full-length conversations and learn from them, and, their wealth of experience and ideas is huge.
So a lot of people talk about wanting NA talent, and I know you have been very, very, very vocal on this. But it seems like there's a severe lack of it from like teams like not to call them out or anything, but like 100 Thieves this year was an all import team technically, or even the rumored Team Liquid roster. What does that mean to you as someone who's trying to get a chance in this league? Does that bother you at all?
Well, I mean, obviously, personally, it hurts because it's an opportunity that I want to have, and if a team is like, "Well, sorry, you're North American, and we want to import mid lane," right? Like that, obviously, fuck, that sucks, right? But to give credit where credit is due, 100 Thieves had 100 Thieves next last year before Proving Grounds was even a thing, right? They've got some great NA talent up and coming. Tenacity, Kenby. These are players that people are really looking at. Gamsu and Chad, who are both at this event now. So I really think NA talent has been being slept on for a long time, and there are some teams who will continue to sleep on it. But I think they'll start to get woken up. As we get more Dannies, we get more Tenacities up in the LCS. They'll see what NA is made of.
So you think these players getting their chance to start and prove that the NA amateur and academy system is improving is huge?
Yeah, I mean, because really, that's what it is. It's just all about opportunities because you can never get to show your stuff if you don't get on an academy team, right? Like you could be a really good player, you could be a bad player, but no one really knows until you get that chance. And if that chance is taken up by an import or whatever, then great, that import can get to prove themselves, and maybe they're really good, but maybe you would have been better. It's really impossible to tell, and that is where Proving Grounds and where amateur is such a big deal because it just provides spaces for these people to play, to develop, and to prove themselves over time.
All right, final question here. So you had that very brief stint on Evil Geniuses Academy. So I want to know, what did you take away from that in the last 2 years, or I guess year and a half rather, that is still like driving you to this day?
Yeah, so I mean, I took away so much. I was super fortunate to play with a team of a whole bunch of veteran players. I believe all of them had LCS experience: Brandini, Anda, Deftly, and Matt. So I just went in I was a substitute player. I didn't know how long I was going to be there, so I was just absorbing information all the time. But I really do have to say, I also have to thank Evil Genius Academy for giving me a lot of the confidence I have nowadays. Because going in, I was the sub. I didn't know how well I was going to perform. I was kind of like, I'm just going to be laid back and not try too hard. Over the weeks, as the months came on, I got more and more confidence, and Evil Geniuses had more and more confidence in me, and then that doubled my own self-confidence. So that's really something that I've been carrying along this whole time.
All right, thank you very much, Five Fire. Make sure to check out thegamehouse.com for more scouting grounds coverage, and I'll hopefully see you in the LCS.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.